You didn't lose your people all at once. They were taken quietly, methodically, one conversation at a time, until the only voice left in your world was theirs. Chosen one, what happened to you was not abandonment, it was architecture. The narcissist understood something ancient and demonic about your design, that you were built for covenant, for community, for the kind of deep soul-level connection that activates your gifts, stabilizes your frequency, and reminds you of who you are. So they went to work on your village. Not loudly, not obviously. Spiritually, this is called the dismantling of the hedge, the systematic removal of every human relationship that could have reflected your true identity back to you. They could not control a chosen one who was fully seen, fully loved, and fully held, so they made sure you weren't. Here is how they dismantle your world, move by move. 1. Preemptive poisoning. Before you can introduce them to anyone in your life, they've already arrived first, planting seeds of doubt. I'm a little worried about her lately. The smear precedes your truth. 2. Intimacy infiltration. They befriend your closest people, not out of love, but to become the gatekeeper between you and your own support system. Your best friend now has their number too. 3. Reframing your reactions. Every time you respond to their abuse, they narrate it to your circle as instability. Your righteous anger becomes your diagnosis. Darvo in surround sound. 4. Time siege. They consume your calendar, your energy, your emotional bandwidth, until maintaining outside relationships feels impossible. Isolation by exhaustion. 5. Loyalty triangulation. They force every person in your life into an invisible allegiance test. To stay close to you becomes a social liability. To side with them becomes safety. 6. Spiritual gatekeeping. In spiritual communities, they position themselves as your covering, your mentor, your divine assignment, so that any outside spiritual voice becomes a threat to their authority over your soul. 7. The final harvest. When they have successfully removed every witness to your true self, they move in for complete psychological occupation. No mirror, no refuge, no one to tell you that you are not what they say you are. Can we just pause here for a moment? Because somewhere in the middle of all of that, you kept going. You showed up to work. You smiled when required. You functioned. But your nervous system was running a trauma calculation every single day, processing the grief of lost friendships, the confusion of a world that suddenly saw you through their lens, the crushing loneliness of being surrounded by people who no longer quite knew you. That is not weakness. That is what happens when a chosen one is cut off from their covenant community. The body holds the weight of every severed connection. Science calls it allostatic overload. The spirit calls it what it is, a soul under siege. And chosen one, a soul under siege, is still a soul that survived. Here is what they never calculated. You cannot permanently isolate a chosen one because chosen ones are recognized, not recruited. Your covenant people are frequency matched to your soul. They are not assigned by a narcissist's permission. They are drawn by divine appointment. Every relationship they burned created space for one they could not contaminate. Every door they closed was a door to a room too small for your destiny. The isolation that was designed to destroy you became the wilderness that prepared you. Even Jesus went into the wilderness alone before he walked in power. Your isolation was not the end of your story. It was the beginning of your consecration. Repeat after me. I break every assignment of isolation sent against my covenant connections. I call back every relationship stolen through slander and spiritual manipulation. I release the shame of being seen through a narcissist's false narrative. My people know my frequency. My community is being restored. What was taken in darkness is being returned in the light. The siege is over. The harvest of my isolation is done. Welcome home, chosen one. It is finished. If they dismantled your village to become your whole world, comment restored and I'll show you exactly how covenant community comes back after narcissistic isolation. Welcome home, chosen one. You didn't lose your friends. They were collected. The narcissist ran a quiet surgical campaign to remove every person who could reflect your true self back to you. This is not paranoia. This is a documented abuse tactic, and it is also ancient spiritual warfare. Let's expose it. Comment restored if this is your story. Be sure to like, share, and follow your tribe of alchemists.